till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters. And we ain't got nothing to hide, we move forward like soldiers.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome into Pregaming here on the Sports Money Network. I'm your boy, Mikey Money. We're here to get paid with some sports betting information this evening. Thoughts, opinions, sides, totals, props, sharp betting report. Got it all here tonight for you guys. Hope you're ready to go. I opened up the vault a little bit. Some would say after a big thumping, you backed out a little bit. Not to give it all back. Maybe I'll learn my lesson, but it ain't tonight because we got ourselves plenty of action here. March Madness, the play-in tournament kicks off. We'll give you a look on one of those spots. I've got 4 NHL plays, the Hurricanes and the Jackets, the Islanders and the Maple Leafs, the Lightning and the Kraken, the Panthers and the Canucks. I think these plays just literally just make an absolute ton of sense. We'll get into college hoops. We'll talk Davidson and Oak State for some NIT. We'll pivot over to the big boys tournament there, Texas and NC State. We'll wrap her up with St. Thomas in Seattle and UNLV and UC Irvine. I believe they canceled the CBI, which is disappointing. Always enjoy those tournaments. But anyhow, we'll go player props. I think I've got 4 tonight. I've got 3 for sure. I may come back with a 4th. Time will tell. We'll wrap it up with the Cavs and the Bucks, the Sixers and the Nuggets. Hit the sharp, respected betting report and get you guys up and out of here. Appreciate everybody being here, though, to watch the best damn gambling show on the universe. We don't read the newspaper. We try to give you guys actionable intelligence that you can use to make bank, to build bankrolls. Will I update the push? I had to shut these fucking Twitter streams down. I hate the fact that it just won't send. It's getting frustrating. Get it together, Twitter. Gonna need you boys to get it together over there on the X side of things. But I mentioned it. We'll recap it really quick. We'll get into the show plays and we'll get up out of here because I got a couple things to do tonight. I just finished my bracket. I did first pass. I do first pass, second pass. I don't know how you guys could put your brackets together, but I ultimately have Houston winning the whole thing. So I don't know if that's good or bad. Is that good or bad? I don't know. I got him playing Duke in the final. I think it was Duke. Maybe it was there. No. I think it's Arizona. And it makes sense. I called it out on Twitter 2 weeks ago, I think, or a week ago. I said Arizona, Houston for a rematch in the big national championship game. So we'll see. We'll see if that's a storyline right there. I mean, there's storyline bettors, and then there's, guys that'll tell you, oh, this team's hot. They went on the road. Okay, thanks. But man, there's so much fun happening here. I've been strategizing with my guy Shark on the baseball show with you guys. I think you're going to like the format. We're going to have some fun with it as well because there's so many damn baseball games. It would only be right that your boys find a way to just have some fun to get it done. So that is coming around the corner. I believe the 26th was the date that we said was the big games, the opening pitch for the big slate of Major League Baseball. What else is going on here? I put the $3 golden ticket in play for some of you guys that are hesitant about getting involved and showing support for the Sports Money Network or for your boy here, Mikey Money. I got a one-shot pop for you guys out there. It's called the golden ticket over at Winnable. $3 cash last night. Easy JPs. Yeah, I think it was plus 155, the Utah Mammoth. So, I think we're 4-3 in the 7 since it's been put out, but we're up units, baby, plus money plays. Got another one out there today. But let's talk about yesterday. Let's get after it here because this was a show of shows to kick the week off. I popped it right off with you guys, giving you Liam Draxel as a plus 345 live dog. After that first round, I said he's down. I gave him out pregame to win. Now's a good time to go bet him. He won. Kind of sneaky, actually. He was down 3-1 in that final set. Then he stormed back and he beat him up. Also, I gave you guys the Nationals preseason baseball to start the show off yesterday. That was a plus 120. I was watching that one, side cam. I think it was 6-6 in the 8th inning. And then it finished off 12-6. So, easy winner. Sweaty. But it worked out to be easy. NHL-wise, did not get the Boston Bruins. The New Jersey Devils that went to overtime, Boston just shit the bed. I did talk about Pavel Zacha, the player prop extraordinaire. I gave you a point at plus 104. He scored. Congratulations. Gave you the Kings. Minus 110. They won 4-1. Artemi Panarin did not score a goal. He got an assist. Probably should have just, when everybody was talking about Panarin being back, and I mean, that narrative does make sense, but everybody knows it. Those aren't the narratives that we want to pluck on. Also in the player prop segment, Sangoon did not play, so that did get voided. A couple of you guys had talked about that. NBA wise, the Golden State Warriors minus 7.5 cashed. The under 221.5 in the Portland Brooklyn. Remember I said 9-0 over trend for Portland out there. We're going to take the under. I gave you the reasons why. I said that Brooklyn ain't even getting to 100. Guess how many points Brooklyn got? 95. And then we wrapped it up with the parlay. Boston Celtics, San Antonio Spurs. I remember I said that's an asshole parlay. It was minus 150 or so, and it cashed. So that's what we do here. If you guys are new here, welcome into the Sports Money Network, because this is where we put all the information together to give you guys not the first play, the best play to try to get you paid. We analyze all the information that we've been taking in all day long, and then we put it together here at 5 p.m. to fire away. If you guys are checking this out on the replay, thank you for doing that. Make sure you smash the thumbs up button. Leave a comment post-show. Tell me what you're on, if you're tailing or fading. But in any event, the most important thing you guys can do is smash that thumbs up button. We'll get to work. We do have a ton of it to do. We don't have a ton of time to get it all out there. So make sure you smash that thumbs up and then circle back in and let's get paid. One last shout out for the SZN for anybody that's, well, maybe I won't. Maybe it's not the last shout out. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'll shout it out again. I'll put the link in the chat though. For all you guys that are looking to get involved in March Madness action, super inexpensive with big prizes, timely payouts, and it's where my money goes. I know it's where several of my friends' money goes. That's where they play. I'm in on the classic bundle, the bracket, the upset bundle as well. Plus a ton of free stuff. We got a ton of free stuff to try to pick up. $500 here, $700 there. World Cup tournaments, all the rest. I'll drop that in the chat for you guys. Again, tons of free stuff. And then if you want to go for the big score, there's some pay stuff out there. So that's the way we do it here. You guys know the deal out there. Appreciate everybody tuning in. There's Drew Scalosa. He says, thank you, Kings. Huge. Dude, the Kings beat them boys up, didn't they? That was just a straight up knockdown drag out, man. If that was a fight, they would have stopped it. In the late, great words of somebody who pioneered the industry. Shout out to Robert McCormick. Drew Scalosa says, you saved me on the over 5.5 Kings money line. Let's go. Appreciate that, man. It's 100% best show. Appreciate that, Drew. 9 legacies here with the paid in full parlay of the day. The Heat, the Suns, the Kings, the Magic, all on the spreads. Do you believe in magic? And his best bets, the Vegas Golden Knights and the Phoenix Suns. That's an interesting game. I put a premium play out there on that game. It's a plus 145. there's no Alex. Well, there's an illness going on in that game with Alex Tues for the Buffalo Sabres, goal scoring extraordinaire. And it's illness related. It's not injury related. So we'll see. Shout out to Jerry Davis as he took both teams under for plus 140. Shout out to Jerry Davis. Shout out to Redbeard in the house as well. Appreciate you guys all being here. Peter Gracia. Sup, Mikey Money. World Baseball Classic. USA Run Line. Dude, we had that game last night. Pegged it. I forgot that. Thank you for bringing it up. I also shared with you guys the first 5 under and the full game under, and they both cashed. I think there was 4 runs scored in the first 5. And then I can't track those on BetStamp. There's no World Baseball Classic, but we've had a pretty good World Baseball Classic here. I've got action in play for the World Baseball Classic this evening. I got an invite to go on a show for the World Baseball Classic tonight. Might have to make an appearance. Did I forget something? Let's see. I've got 4 premium plays posted for college basketball. I've got 2 free plays over there on college basketball. I'll probably share one of them. I guess maybe I'll share them both here. I've got 4 premium plays posted for the NHL. I've got a free play out there. I've got action in play was what I was trying to get to. It was a long drawn out way of me telling you guys. There is action in play right now. Sadly, I lost Dubai in the EuroLeague Hoops Tuesday play. I did put out 4 plays for the UCL here this afternoon. I was driving with my knee. Don't recommend doing that. But I got Man City and Sporting Lisbon. Now, Man City's down a man right now. They got the red card, so they're sitting at the 10-pack. But you can certainly feel free to live bet Man City, despite them being down. I had Sporting Lisbon. They covered easily. I've got Arsenal, both teams to score, but then I went -1.5. So that one's very much in play. And then I've got Chelsea. You know, it's funny. I was laughing because there's a shitbag. I told you guys the story before about this young punk that thinks he's a soccer extraordinaire and didn't know anything about line movement. Matter of fact, I think I've taught several people. We even talked about line movement yesterday, but he never looked at line movement in regards to his soccer capping. And I would always come in there, and we were part of like a Discord way back. And I would always come in there and I'd be like, dude, you're going to fucking lose like 6 of these plays. I'm not trying to be, and he thought I was being a dick. I wasn't. I was just telling him about the line movement. And he kept saying, why do you keep saying that? Why do you keep saying that? And I was like, dude, the line was +105 on the 3-way. It's now +130. It didn't just move that way on accident. It's probably the most corrupt sport that's out there. And my point about that is Chelsea's line today moved from +105 to +125, right about 4 minutes to tip off. Or kick off or whatever the hell they call it. So that one was doomed right from the pop. So anyhow, that's the way we're going, you guys. Let's go. Shout out to Stop Geoengineering. Says, thank you for the show, brother. Thank you for being here, Stop Geoengineering. Jerry Davis says, took McLean under 6 Ks in U.S. money line. Excuse me. Jerry Davis's favorite NHL play, Edmonton, under 6.5. Peter Gracia became a knee driving expert. I used to not mind driving with my knee for anything, but now I prefer just to drive with my knee when I'm drinking a cocktail, making a sports bet. Sports bet, cocktail, knee. Let's go. I don't advocate that. I'm not endorsing that. That is my own prerogative. Let me kick it off. I'll give you guys a World Baseball Classic bet here. Let's talk a little bit about the over in this game, huh? I mean, I know it's USA, and a lot of people are looking at this USA side of things here. Venezuela, both guys are ballers out there. I think as it relates to the number, it's a little low. I mean, I've seen it drop into some 8.5. So I did jump in on the over 8.5. Eduardo Rodriguez, Nolan McLean. I like that under in the K spot for Nolan McLean. I just have a feeling, yes, this is a championship game, but we saw explosion of runs the last time these teams played 2 years ago. It was 2 or 3 years ago. And I think the same. This U.S. lineup is way too talented from top to bottom. And why not Ronnie Acuna Jr. get a home run tonight? He's been a little absentee when it comes down to it. So called a road soda. That's right, Peter Gracia. You know what I'm talking about. All right. So let's go with that. Let's go with the over 8.5 USA Venezuela. Yeah. No, seriously, be careful. Don't drink and drive, please. Of course. Standard moniker. We don't want to see anybody get hurt or hurt anybody else. We want you guys to be here to have these bankrolls glow, grow, and flourish together. So that being said, let's talk about making some money tonight. Oof. 100% chance this chick's real. Just started following me. Joined in November 2019. 72 followers. Smoke show. I choose to believe you're real. Redbeard, I know, man. That shit ain't cheap, brother. That shit ain't cheap. Shout out to Markel. Shout out to SF Niner in the house. Appreciate you guys being here. Only at night. And hello. And SF Niner likes the over 4.5 runs in the first 5 innings. Okay. All right, let's fire down this card here. We've already given out some live plays. We've already given out some World Baseball Classic plays. Let's give out some hockey plays here. Some of my favorites on the card. As we kick it off, we talk about the Carolina Hurricanes and the Columbus Blue Jackets. I got to pull up the goalie report. Hang on. Excuse me. Well, I pull up the goalie report. Boosie! Brandon Boosie gets the start. Jet Greaves gets the start on the other side of this thing here. And Boosie has struggled a little bit as of late. He started off pre-All-Star break. Oh, excuse me while I scratch my back. 2.16 goals against average. He's now sitting around a 4. True. Not great. And the Columbus Blue Jackets, 5-0-4, pushing for the playoffs right now. A motivated, potentially, team. I'll tell you, I saw a lot of trickery in these lines today. So I do think buyer, be careful is what it comes down to. And I kind of thought this was one of them. I mean, this Carolina Hurricanes team, to me, one of the better teams in the East, of course, especially this year. The lines come down. It was a soft 135. Didn't seem entirely right until I saw 5-0-4 Columbus. They're battling. So overtime's in play for me with this game as well. Jet Greaves comes in. His last start was fantastic. He had a 94.7% save percentage. It was a 2-1 shootout. In other words, overtime cashed. So, look, I think he's been playing better. I do see why upon further review, I do see why Columbus is priced the way it is. I don't think you're catching Carol. I don't know. Listen, I can't take the Blue Jackets. Just not going to do it. And the Hurricanes, look, as much as that's an under team, they've scored 4 more goals in 5 of their last 6, which further makes me wonder what the heck is going on with this line. So what I ended up doing is I ended up jumping in on the under in this game. Kick my NHL card off with a nice, boring, fatty under 6.5. And, it just comes down to a couple of things. One, I think that these two teams in this current situation early in the week, going to pick their battles a little bit more. Now, the Blue Jackets get the benefit of being the home team, so they get the first, the best line change, if you will. So I think they can match up and nullify a little bit. The Blue Jackets in the home dog role, when it's priced between an even money, like a plus 100 and a plus 110, 32-22. So they do find a way to score or to win those games. When you're not entirely sure, that home ice advantage does tend to take off for these boys. But like I said, I'm going to go to lower scoring game. To me, I think this under 6.5, we see the overall performance. I just talked about the goaltender situation. The Hurricanes. So remember I talked about the Eastern Coast under of the NHL being in Carolina. If they're the favorite on the road with plenty of rest, in other words, they should be able to dictate pace because they're the better team. 36-20 to the under. You've won 9 straight in that situation. So for those reasons, for that hot little tasty trend, I'm going to take a shot with the under 6.5 as we roll on to New York Islanders and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Wonder what you guys think about that. Under 6.5. Jerry Davis likes Witt and Acuna and one-hit parlay. He wants to take a shot on Columbus. Futon Bet says Celebrini anytime goal. Jokic triple-double. Bregman home run. Now there's a fucking parlay, Futon Vets. I'm going to write that down. Bregman and Acuna, huh? I like that one, dude. Might get a couple dollars on there myself. Nicholas Handy's here as well. Checking in. Appreciate you guys all being here. As we look at the Islanders and the Maple Leafs here, I got to go with the Islanders in this spot. You know, I did talk about the 6-2. I did think there was going to be that little 6-2 run. But without Matthews, they're done. You know, and it's funny. It's not funny, but it's interesting to see. We'll see what the Edmonton Oilers do now because Leon Draisaitl has been shut down for the season with a lower body. I think it's a leg injury as well. So some of these key components just become too much. And I don't want to be involved. And not only that, two teams moving in different directions. The Islanders have won 7 of their last 10. And by the way, that Columbus Blue Jackets team that we just talked about, right behind them, nipping at their heels for a postseason playoff position. Is that triple alliteration? I like to want to slide those in there. The offense scoring 2.32 goals expected at even strength. So you got to like that. I mean, that ranks up there in the NHL. The goaltenders on the flip side here, Toronto, they're going to Wall. He's anything but a Wall. They've lost 8 of their last 10. He's given up. Well, they're giving up 2.56 goals against. That's the 5th most, by the way. 2.56 is the benchmark for 5th most goals given up over the last 10 games. Not a good look. The 6-2 thought for the Toronto Maple Leafs was certainly hinging on Austin Matthews. Furthermore, you got the Toronto Maple Leafs that are sub 500 at home. They're 17-18 and a motivated Islanders team to push for the playoffs. I'm on the Islanders. Good price tag. You know what? I'm on the under 6 as well. I think the premium play I gave out there was the Islanders. I might have slipped a premium play in there for you guys. Let me see. Either way, though, I was looking at this total and I thought from an under perspective, both these get, yeah, I did. Oh, there's a freebie. All good plays. I think they're all qualitative spots there. I just think that from a goal scoring perspective, I don't see how Toronto finds a way to find the back of the net. And I think you're catching, I mean, it's moving now. You still catch a -1. Oops, shit. Any event. There's an extra play. Redbeard says the pot of gold play of the day likes the Magic. Jerry Davis says Toronto playing good since Matthews went down. Not sure it continues. Peter Grassi says Le Havre, puck line and Caulfield goal. Period 2 goal. That's a hell of a call. Let's go. All right. Tampa Bay and the Seattle Kraken. And look, this one comes down to a little bit of my suspicion of what's going on with this Tampa Bay team. You know, we talked about it, and it just goes back, and it goes back to when I talked to them about the, or not them, but when I talked to us about that Sabres game, and then fading them the game after they came out of there and played the Columbus Blue Jackets, and they took that L. Tough pressed games, dealing with injuries. Kraken have won back-to-back games, trying to make that West Coast playoff push, Western Conference playoff push. Since that Buffalo game, Tampa Bay's 1-3. They beat Detroit, who I told you, suspect. Why are they suspect? Because they fucking continue to have a high expected 5-on-5 goal scoring proposition, and they don't do it. They just don't deliver. So for a season and a half, I've been saying, when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? When is it? It's not happening. The team's just fundamentally fucked up. That's my professional opinion. I'm looking at this San Jose Sharks. I'm sorry, Tampa Bay and Seattle spot, though, and I'm saying, I certainly don't believe that Tampa should be favored like this. I get that they're going with Vasilevsky, but Grubauer's been playing great. Now, again, it was against Vancouver, but what a way to build your confidence. He saved 32 of 34 for a 94.1% savings. Man. Now, Tampa was on that losing streak. I still think that they got lucky against a bad Detroit team. And Tampa, look, 2-7 their last 9. So there's got to be something to it. It's not just coincidence that these guys are shitting the proverbial money bed. And speaking of money bed, you're plus 170 to grab the Kraken. This falls down to me as one of those. I wouldn't mess around with the puck line. I'd go in on Seattle. I got them plus 165. And again, I'm just simply feeling like this is a team in Tampa that struggling to find the back of the net, struggling to keep the other team out of the back of the net, playing a good Kraken goaltender in hot form right now on a big West Coast road trip. Don't forget the travel element that goes into this thing. So for all those reasons, I'm going to fade the Tampa Bay Lightning. I know it's not a comfortable proposition. Interconference home teams with a rest advantage are 23-16 this season. So there is a little bit of an edge in saying, yeah, it's not just coincidence. This should be an opportunity for Seattle, not just crossing our fingers and plugging away. It should be an opportunity for Seattle to truly get the late night win. We've done so well with the late night spots as well. So you got to respect it. And I think it's a good look. So let's see what Jerry Davis says. Bobby McMahon firing for Seattle since he came over. Well, I'm over to the Florida Panthers and the Vancouver Canucks. This is, again, maybe a little suspicious of what's going on with this Florida team. Now, there's no question. I'm trying to, everybody's telling you guys, Vancouver's in tank mode. I told you yesterday, they're the worst team at home next to the New York Rangers. New York Rangers are the second worst team at home. They did get that loss for us comfortably last night. Kevin Lankinen's not playing well at all, but he did have a good game his last game. He had 22 of 23 saves. They still lost. That's the state of the Vancouver Canucks. He plays phenomenal. They still lose. But back-to-back quality starts. So got to respect it. Unfortunately, he hasn't won in 10 straight games. He's got a disgusting 4.52 goals against average. That's Vancouver. Bobrovsky. I don't know what they're doing with this guy. He's not recording the minutes since the All-Star break or since the Olympic Games. He did save 30 of 31. 2-1 overtime win against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Gotta like that. Only 7 goals in the last 4 games for the Vancouver Canucks. Brutal. I had to double check the day of the week. It's not a Thursday. Because, I like my Florida Panthers unders on Thursday. But I am going to the under. Look, it's an NHL wide trend. It goes back 19 years. Road teams, off of getting busted up in the favorite position, have cashed 7 straight unders. That's it. Just told you, Vancouver's not scoring. Florida's struggling to score. And both goaltenders are playing some quality puck right now. Under 6 makes an absolute ton of sense as we roll on through the NHL segment into the college hoops. You're good, Peter. It's all good, my man. All good. Let's talk some Davidson ball here. Davidson Oak State to fire off the college hoops component here today. And I'll just move fast with you guys if that's okay with everybody else here. We'll just pick up this pace and get through this card because I got a couple things I got to do that are time sensitive. So, boy, there's just some great games on tonight too. But I got a couple primo oso plays out there. Here's the deal for me. I don't like either of these teams, Davidson or Oak State. I certainly don't think Oak State should be laying 8.5. Now it's the NIT. So you'll notice a couple of differences. Obviously the March Madness tournament, they play neutral sites, but in the NIT, for anybody that's not aware, they do play the first year until they go to Madison Square Garden for the championships. They do play home courts. So you'll see the home and road records. They really do matter. Davidson plays pretty well on the road. Oklahoma State can't beat them at home. You know, somebody asked me yesterday about the cash flow splits information. I was going to talk about a couple, but this is one of them here where it's like 45% of the bets, 51% of the cash have come in on Oak State, and the lines come down 2 points. So does that mean Davidson's alive? I know 79% of the bets, 80% of the cash think we're going to see points in this game. And that's where I think you're wrong. I think that this kind of starts. Now, they always say for the NIT, you got to decide who wants it, right? Who wants to be there? Well, I think both these teams are comfortable with wanting to be there from that perspective. Neither one of them was really going to the big dance. Davidson finished off the season 2-1 with notable wins against St. Bonaventure as a small dog, Loyola, Illinois as a good favorite, and then at St. Joe's. That was a tournament game. And they got busted up 70-58. So, they beat Loyola, Illinois. They made it to the second round of the A-10, and they got thumped. Oak State, on the other hand, same deal. They put up 92 on a Colorado team. Somehow, I think it's because Houston was on the road. It was 82-75 against Houston. They've been covering. Oak State's a covering machine. They covered 4 straight. The problem is they've been dogs in every single game. So is this that much of a step down in class for Oak State to play a lowly A-10 team? They've been rolling overs. Man, they got a streak of overs, 5 in a row, 6 in a row. 12 of its last 19 have gone over at home. I'm taking the under. For me, I just got this gut feeling early week action. They just finished their tournament. Oh, yeah. You know what? I was thinking that, Jerry Davis. I was thinking that as I said it. I don't know if you heard the way I said it. It's like, I don't know if they're actually playing that MSG anymore. All good. All good. Redbeard, Jerry Davis is all over the Magic after the shit performance last night. Appreciate you sharing. But take the under there. I got Texas, NC State. I'm going to take the over here. Going to flip-flop. You don't hear me say that very often. These teams met previously. You probably have been aware of that as they look at this conference. I mean, look. Both these teams arguably have shit defenses and fast-paced offenses, or at least they're comfortable running fast-paced offensively. Okay? When they met before, would they have 190 points? Something like that, right? It was a lot. 199 to be exact. How do points get up there? 2 things. Making 3-pointers and sneaking in free throws at the end of the game. Well, NC State's one of the best 3-pointing teams in the country. Texas struggles with defending the 3. They let opponents hit over 36%. That ain't good. Then you look at the Texas side of things here, and they're a strong rebounding team. Or I'm sorry, a strong free throw team. They pick up, they pull up at the end of the game and draw those fouls. And now their adjusted defensive efficiencies outside the top 100 for Texas. Texas has had 19 games go over the total. NC State's had 21 games go over the total this year. Defense optional. To me, it's strong offenses against bad defenses produce score, and more score. And I think this is a game where we see score. I got the total pegged in at 157.5. Also, I got 153.5 on the under in that Oak State and Davidson game. We're going to go to St. Thomas and Seattle next. Looking at these boys, we've got some intersecting zeros. We like intersecting zeros. The best zeros intersect each other. If you'll bear with me while I pull it up here, we're looking at this game and we see that currently 54% of the bets, but 65% of the cash are on Seattle. 54% of the bets are on St. Thomas. 65% of the cash coming in on Seattle. The line opened up as a +1.5. It's now 2.5. Total went from 145.5 to 147.5. And I told you, I'm going to go. We've been riding it. Stay on it. No reason to get off it. We're looking at the under. You know, we've had an absolute ton of success with these Seattle unders this season. And why not keep it going? 15-0 to the under. If they've got a team that's averaging more than 34.5% from the three and makes over 9 threes in those spots, they're averaging 128 points a game. Trying to find meaty. I mean, that's a 20-point variance right there. St. Thomas comes in to intersect it 6-0. If they're in the dog roll, less than 4.5 points. They were a small favorite the previous game. They're staying under by 17.5 points a game. Collectively, I'm going to go right back to it. I like the number that we're getting. I mean, we were seeing some 129.5s. Give me the under in Seattle as we keep her moving. Shout out to Big Crypto. I like Howard today. Team total points over today. Okay. Jerry Davis over Central Maui, but I lean over, but might wait for a live over for a better number. Yeah, I just think that game to me is good offenses, bad defenses, free throws, and 3-pointers. That's the formula for an over. Those are all the green flags I was telling you guys about yesterday. And again, the under in this spot here, we'll finish it off with this UNLV UC Irvine spot. Mediocre road team for the UNLV Rebels. UC Irvine. I'm going to speculate. That's all we can do in these situations. This is the game that UC Irvine doesn't care about. I don't think these boys care about being in. And you know, time will tell. They're 2.5-point favorites. That's alarming when you look at the schedule and you look at the variance. You look at the records. 500 road team in UNLV. I'll come back to that in a second. But 64% of the bets and 57% of the cash are on. Oh, man, look at that. Scratch whatever number I just gave you. 59% of the bets, now 40% of the cash on the UC Irvine spot here. Either they're in the future or they knew I was taking UNLV in the running Rebels. Wrong team's favored. I don't know the motivation for the UC Irvine Anteaters in this case here, but I do believe, look, UNLV, for all intent and purpose, that's a tough conference them boys playing. They got Wyoming's to deal with at elevations. That's always a scrappy bunch. They got Utah State, San Diego State's probably a slight that San Diego State didn't make the tournament, huh? Nevada's, New Mexico's. This team's conference battle hardens them to go out there in an NIT team and pull an upset against a team that maybe just doesn't care. And it was the Warriors of Hawaii taking down UC Irvine in the big game to disrupt all their hopes and dreams. Cancel the March Madness plans. We ain't going nowhere. We got an NIT game where we're hosting UNLV. That's the recipe that feels like we just don't care. We're checked out. We don't even want to be here. It's 2.5 points on a home team that's 12-4 on their home court, firing off against the UNLV team. Again, I think that's battle hardened. So I will take UNLV. Jerry Davis got 4 on UNLV, but the rest of us are just going to sit around 2.5s. Let's go to the prop shop. Let's talk some props. Boys, what do you think about that? Here, we've been doing well with the prop components. Again, we had some victories last night. A couple I'm going to look at here. I'm going to Sebastian Aho for the Carolina Hurricanes. Top line center, top power play units, plenty of time on ice, all factors. Cash flow, moving in on this guy. He was a plus 185 overnight. He's down to plus 175 today. And I say that's for a reason. Then you drill in and let's look at his last 10. I mean, talk about a guy that's out there making things happen. 4 goals and 7 assists. He's getting the most ice time on the team, 20 minutes plus. Skates on the top power play unit. But he's the defenseman. So what that to me says, they're playing that 4 offensive rotation that you see on power plays. So you can sneak that guy into the upper high slot. He's got 30 shots. He's leading the team in shots over the last 10 games. That's the guy that we want to go fire on at plus 175 for the opening of the prop shop. Makes a lot of sense. That's a great price tag as well. So we'll start there. We'll move on. There's another guy that I have here in the NHL. Braden Shen. Talk about this Islanders game, man. I got this one circled, highlighted, and underlined for this New York Islanders team tonight with the under, with the premium play on the Islanders that I shared with you guys. But Braden Shen, I got Braden Shen to get a point. It's plus 130. I think he scores tonight, and I think he does it on the power play tonight. If we could just thread the needle and just absolutely nail this thing. Now, his point is plus 130. Now, remember, they brought this guy in. The Islanders did. Because I was watching it, and I was like, man, this guy used to be isn't he a St. Louis Blue? No, not anymore. He's an Islander. And since he's come over, he hasn't done shit. So, I don't know if that motivates him or not. But I do know that he gets on the top line. Well, he's the center of it depends on what they come out with their final lineup. Doesn't matter. He's still centering Anthony Duclair and Holmstrom. So whether he gets up there, it's going to be him or Bo Horvat. He does have 6 assists in his last 10 games, but again, struggling to find the back of the net since he's become a New York Islander. What a better way to remedy all evils. Now listen, I'm going to take him to get a point. I'm going to sprinkle a half a unit on him to score a goal and another half a unit on him to get a power play point. I know he hasn't scored, and I know that's a little bit of the he's due situation, but from a goal perspective, it's plus 360. From a power play point perspective, it's plus 475. I think he finds the back of the net, but if he only gets a point and say it's on 5-on-5, with the strategy that we've just deployed, we'll make a third of a unit, plus 130. If we put a unit, half a unit each on plus money plays, and he doesn't get the power play or the goal, he only gets a regular strength point, we made 0.3 units. Let's say he scores a goal on the power play. Well, we just made like 7 units by risking 2 on a player they had their eye on for a reason. And I think that strategy makes a little bit more sense to me when you start breaking it down. What say you guys? He likes Savoy, point and assist. Jerry Davis does. Move the power play for Draisaitl. That's a great snit. Jerry Davis doing his homework. Appreciate that, Jerry. Like to see those types of looks out there. I was talking to MMA Jeff about that the other day. I was like, dude, you gotta find these guys when they're moving into these new lineups. He's got one tonight. He talked a little bit about a player prop tonight that he liked. Not that the guy's on a power play lineup, but he's just gotten called up to the show. He's got a private viewing suite. I guess I said it sounds like distractions, but time will tell. I think those are the angles that you have to find an angle more than just, I don't know. I guess everybody plays player props different. As I say that, I don't know. Do what you want. And then the last but not least here, the third, I was going to go for. You know what I was finding impressive, and they're not playing tonight? Did you see what Luka Doncic's numbers are since his ex-wife's taking custody of the kids? Things that fascinate me. Since his fiance took his kids, 37 points a game, 9 rebounds a game, 8 assists a game, and the Lakers are 6-0 in the custody battle Luka era. It's kind of a smoke show. Isn't he dating who's the smoke show from the out fuck. Why can't I think of her name now? Madeline Klein, I think it is. I think he's now dating Madeline Klein. So Luka's living his best fucking life. That's all I can say, man. That is something. but the Lakers aren't playing tonight, so I had to find somebody else. And you know who I like tonight? Give me Cade Cunningham over 10.5 assists. The line suggests a blowout. In those games, he's, when they're supposed to blow out teams, he's gone double digits plus 12 of 14 times. This line opened at 9.5. It was super juicy, minus 140. It's moved to 10.5 for us. And do the Wizards really care about this win and shutting down Cade Cunningham? He's got 11 or more assists in 7 straight games where they're a double-digit favorite. It's good enough for me. It's moving in the direction. We're seeing the steam coming in on it. Kelly V says, Luka's such a cutie. I better preface that by saying Kelly V said that. Madeline Klein's a cutie. I give her that. On that note, let's regain our composure. Let's talk Cavaliers and Bucks. Outer Banks was the name of the show I couldn't think of. Yeah, I liked Outer Banks. I watched it. Mostly because of her. Smoke show. Oh, seemed like a decent actress too. But in any event, the Cavaliers, look at this NBA slate. I've yet to give any premium play out in the NBA slate tonight. That's how much it matters to me. That's how much it means to me to be giving you guys actionable intelligence here. This line continues to move. 10.5s, now 11s, 12s, 12.5s. The Kalshi program. If you like the Bucks, you can give them 12.5. Now it's tough because there's no Giannis. Jared Allen's a big question mark as well. I think the line moved a little too much for me with this Cavaliers team. I think they do smack the bottoms of the Bucks, but I went to the under. 228.5. Here's a good reverse line movement play. 89% of the bets, 84% of the cash. So lots of money coming in on the over. It went from 228.5 to 227.5. When the Cavs are without Allen, they're 11-6 to the under. Take away Giannis. And I don't know if Jalen Tyson is enough. I don't want to get involved in the huge double-digit point game with these guys here. I'll just take the under. The 227.5 under feels about right to me. West Up 420. What up, West Up? The West Up parlay. UNLV and VGK on the money line. What up, West Up 420? It's good to see a new name in the chat. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for checking us out. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Sports Money Network so you don't miss the action when we go live. By the way, VB Picks and Ramon Scott did the UFC look ahead for the London card today. That recording is out there. Them boys don't believe in the description, so I got to doctor it up a little bit, but we'll get it out there. It's out there for the masses. You guys can check it out now, and it's such a treat to have those guys taking care of the UFC for us early in the week. Early looks to try to beat the books. They go through the main event, the co-main event. They give you a bonus fight, typically the featured prelim event, all to help you guys get ready to attack that UFC card. So we're very fortunate to have one of the best in the world in VB MMA picks and Ramon Scott coming through. Our very own Ramon Scott hosting Philadelphia 76ers. The Denver Nuggets will be the last game for me in the NBA card. And, jeez. Why not? Anyhow, No Embiid. No big deal. Sixers are always playing without Embiid. You know, funny part about this game, there's a lot of love to the over. And at first I kind of got it. I was looking at it and I was like, yeah, I guess I could see it. But it's now moved 8 points. So you're either completely chasing the steam at this point, or you got to come up with a narrative that fits the opposite side of it here. 85% of the bets, 83% of the cash are on the over. So it's moved a shit ton. And now I think it's moved too many. The Sixers, by the way, you put them on the road against the spread this year, they're better on the road against the spread than they are at home. Fact. Which is strange because Philadelphia fans are so fun to play for, or what I could imagine they would be. So I see the over. I see you over taking heat, and it's a 10 p.m. game, which is even more astonishing. We know that the Nuggets have had a home over against Eastern Conferences, 59-31 over the last 5 years, but it's not the same ball arena. So now I can start to build a case. Why do I want to get my money on that other side of things here? Well, high scoring teams late in the season, the books over adjust. They've cashed the under 5 straight times. That's a big enough factor for me to want to get involved. These high over teams get overinflated is what it comes down to. Then you add to it the history these teams have with each other. You know, this is where I kind of looked at it and said, well, if you're going to use the last game factor, I think it was a 1-pointer, if I'm not mistaken. Was it like, I can't remember the score. Was it 125, 124, something like that? What the fuck's Real Madrid doing, man? He scored, then he didn't score. Now he scored again. In the extra time on top of it, fuck. Under 3.5. Anyhow, Nuggets also had a huge over the other day. The Luka custody battle era has begun. 127-125. So, look, Jokic, Murray, Gordon. Score. I think it's overinflated. Simply just a gut play for me, validating that over the last 5 years, yes, they've been overs. Recent form, no. 5-5 to the under. I don't know officially that he's out. I heard he's going to be out, so I don't know if he'll play or not here tonight. I guess I should probably make that clear, but I'm okay with it either way. Let's talk sharp respected betting. Put the bow on the show. How'd they do yesterday? That is the question everybody wants to know. Inquiring minds. In the NBA yesterday. Wow, I can't believe that. Soccer is the most disgusting sport, man. Anything in Europe is, except for probably their beach volleyball. Sharps yesterday had the Spurs minus 8.5. Spurs had that lead all the way down the run and then choked at the end. What a disgusting loss, but we cashed. We had our parlay in there to make some money on that puppy. Just hope it was a little sweaty. Hoping they would hold on to the end. So they lost that game. They had the over in the Memphis and Chicago game at 243.5. And 239 was the final in that game. Brooklyn, Portland under 222.5. Easy cash. We were on that one too. NHL wise, in the NHL yesterday, the Sharps had the Calgary Flames. Tough loss for the Flames. They got beat down, but they had the Penguins. Big late win for us with the Pittsburgh Penguins for me. They also had the under in Dallas and Utah. Utah comes away skating high with that big W. No college basketball last night. They do have college basketball tonight. They did take the St.Thomas plus 1.5 spot against Seattle. No sharp action here tonight on the totals, but they do like St. Thomas. Mind you, that line's moved to 2.5 now against Seattle. In the NBA, the Sharps are moving all over the place tonight. They like some totals. They like some side. They're attacking. They're feasting. I agree with the 76ers at plus 15.5. I just told you about that. They like the Suns at plus 3.5. I don't know, man. The Suns have got them back-to-back wins. Eek. They also took the Detroit Pistons, 19.5. The Cade Cunningham battle. They went to the under 232.5 in the Detroit-Washington battle there. They went under in, where'd they go under here? OKC, Orlando, Detroit, and Washington. And I'm not sure what this other one is. Might be a typo. Sorry, I have to decipher the report a little bit. Today in the NHL, they went with the Montreal Canadiens, La Habitants. Big price tag on the La Habitants. This one came out last night, so I told you there were some look-ahead spots. Also, the San Jose Sharks. They like the Sharks at plus 163, anticipating that Leon Draisaitl news maybe. They like the under in Toronto and the Islanders. And that's the way we put the bow on the show this evening, you guys. Thank you all for being a part. Make sure you smash that thumbs up, like, repost out there as much as you can. Get the comments in there for us. Shout out to Jerry Davis and his contributions today. Says Arsenal minus 1.5. Appreciate all you guys. Man, let's go. Let's get after it. Continue to have a great day. If you haven't done so already and you're looking to jump on board, the golden ticket's out there. It's $3. Best bet on the card here this evening. And it's a nice plus money attack. Also, you can catch my college basketball card, my NHL card. I don't have an NBA card yet. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, but you can do that over at Winnable. Use promo code NY2026. Sign up for 3 months. Cheapest in the industry. And it's by design, just trying to give you guys some of my premium action, some of the spots that I worked the hardest to uncover, plus live betting, early action, late action. You never know what kind of action you're going to get out there, but you can get it over at winnable.com/Mikey Money. On behalf of the Sports Money Network, good luck.